Hello, this is teddygaming and welcome back to another video, and in this one we're going to be looking at all the tmnt comic books that will be coming out in June, so let's go. Okay, so on June 7th we're going to be having the first issue for tmnt and Street Fighter comic, and I must admit it's going to be interesting. Now I must admit, looking at the comments from all social media platforms and stuff like that for this crossover, it seems as though not many people are looking forward to this one, but I think that's only just because people don't really know too much about Street Fighter. But I've got a feeling that this whole crossover is going to be really fun, really great. Okay, so for the description for this issue, it is when a prestigious martial arts tournament invites fighters to travel to Atlantic City and test their skills, the tmnt jump to a chance to compete. But a big stage means big competition, and the world famous Street Fighters has shown up in force to prove the mettle of their psycho-powered fighting forms. As if that's not enough of a challenge, there's rumours of competitors disappearing, and the identity of the contestant's benefactor is shrouded in mystery. Don't miss a matchup of your favourite fighters as the hardshell heroes faces the likes of Ro, Gulu, Jingling, and more. Now overall, I think this issue sounds really fun, but I won't lie, because I don't really know too much about Street Fighter, I'm not really looking forward to this one as much as some of the other crossovers, but it does sound really interesting. With the covers is really interesting, just because so far they have announced there's going to be 31 covers, and they all do look really interesting, and just like with the tmnt Power Rangers crossover, was how to bring in a lot of people on and do a lot of really unique, really fun variant covers. This one sounds though that it's going to have a lot of really fun variant covers, and I must admit, looking at some of these ones now, they do look really great. So yeah, the tmnt Street Fighter crossover is coming out on June 7th. Okay, so moving on to June 14th, we do have the tmnt The Last Ronin covers. Now this book is going to be a hardcover back, and I must admit it's going to be really interesting, just because this whole book is basically just showing off some of the covers that I did get from the tmnt The Last Ronin comic book series, and I must admit it's somewhat interesting, but at the same time, it's okay, but at the same time it feels like a big cash grab just to really lean in with The Last Ronin stuff. I don't think this book's going to be really interesting or really great, just because we've already seen all the covers before and stuff like that. But I must admit, this whole book is going to be 200 pages long, which I was very surprised at because I didn't realise there was so many covers, but it's not surprising when the first issue had like, I want to say like 71 covers, so yeah. And with the description, I'm not really going to go into it, but I'll do list off some of the actual artists for this one, which must admit, it sounds really great. We've got stuff by Ben Bishop, Matteo Santaloco, Sophie Campbell, Freddie Williams, Justin Roiland, Peach Momoko, Tyler Kirkman, John Gang, I'm pretty sure I said that wrong, sorry, Amanda Connor, Rob Lenfield, Sam Basile, Stan Sakai, and many more. And I must admit, just listening to all those artists coming onto this one, doing all different covers, it sounds really great, but again, it's just a book showing off covers, so I don't really know what to really say about it. It's going to be there, so yeah, that comes out on June 14th. Okay, so also coming out on June 14th, we do have the tmnt issue 140 from the ongoing series. Now yes, this issue is coming out before the tmnt The Armageddon Game issue number 8, so we'll probably be getting spoilers for the Armageddon Game finale, which is really disappointing, but at the same time, it has been, it's been like ages since we've gotten a tmnt book for the ongoing series and stuff like that, so it would be great to have some more content from that universe, but at the same time, that was all spoiling stuff, so I must admit, I'm sort of disappointed by it. Okay, so for the description for this issue, it is a shamed mare, a fallen wall, a new borough, and broken trust among found family. Left reeling from the events of the Armageddon Game, the tmnt grapple to hold it all together as the rest of New York City struggles to find the equilibrium. The city's new dynamic means a new slate of challenges and opportunities. And while a dark threat lurks in the shadows of Mutant Town, several of Detail's closest allies separate themselves from the brothers. Okay, yeah, so I must admit with this description, it does sound really great, and I must admit it sounds like one of those issues that you would expect to have for after the whole event. So I want to see like one of those issues that you sort of have between story arcs. I must admit it sounds really great. In terms of the characters who could be leaving the Turtles, I want to say maybe like Alapex, Angel, Casey, April maybe. I don't know. I think that could be it. And also for the the dark threat in the shadows, we do sort of have a little bit of a teaser for the next one in issues, and it is unfortunately Leatherhead and Dr. Jasper Barlow, so it's great that they're continuing with that story, but it's all ruined a bit. in terms of the fact that I already know that it's them, so it is what it is. Okay, so for the covers, we do have cover A, which is done by Gavin Smith, which looks really great. We've got cover B, which is done by Kevin Eastman, and this one's just amazing. I mean, that's the Weasel, so of course it's going to be amazing. And then for the 110 variant, we have it done by Rod Reese. I must admit, the art style looks really great. The 125 variant is basically the same as the 110 variant, but this time it's in black and white. Yay! And then we've got 150, done by Kevin Eastman, and it's basically the cover B, but in black and white. Yay! And then also for this issue, we do have a really surprising cover, which is also for the RW Online exclusive, which is done by Carlos Lopez, and I must admit, it looks really cool. And yeah, so both those books come out on June 14th, make sure to pick them up, but I would say be wary of spoilers for issue 140. On June 28th, we'll begin the second issue for the tmnt Saturday Morning Adventures, and this will be the second part for the Turtle King story, and so far it sounds as though things are going to be really interesting. Okay, so for the description for this issue, the Rat King has gained the ability to control the Ninja Turtles. He's ordered Leonardo, Raphael, and Michelangelo to go on a crime spree to benefit the rodent of the city, while forcing Donatello to search for a way to return Rat King's original powers. Things look grim for our heroes, but this is our second part of a two-part story, so you know they're going to reverse Rat King's control and put things right. The nostalgia-filled Saturday Morning Adventures spy adventures of the tmnt continues in the Turtle King Part 2. And yeah, so I must admit, like, going off that description, it does sound as though that this whole issue is going to be really fun, just so this universe, and yeah. And then for the covers, we do have cover A, which is done by Tim Latty, which I must admit looks really great. We do have cover B, which is done by Stan Schuring, who will be the ongoing series artist for the next couple of issues, possibly maybe even for the rest of the series, who really knows. We've got cover C, which is done by Gigi Dutrix, I'm pretty sure I said that wrong, so sorry. And then for the 110 variants and 125 variants, we have Jim Lawson coming back and doing a cover for this one, which I must admit, it looks okay. I won't lie, I do think that with the way that Jim Lawson draws his turtles, I don't think it really suits this version of the turtles all too well. I mean, you know, just looking at these turtles, it just gives you a little Mirage vibes, so I don't think his art style works too well with this version of Turtles, but it is so amazing that he's coming back and doing the cover. Hopefully it could lead on to some more work for him and become doing some more, you know, some series and stuff like that. I doubt it, but you never know. Also on the 28th of June, we do have the first trade paperback for the tmnt Saturday Morning Adventures, and this will be collecting the first 4 issues of the Saturday Morning Adventures from the last lot. And I must admit, this whole book sounds so it's going to be really fun, just because of the stories that I did make were really cool and really great. I must admit, having them collected in one little trade paperback is going to be really fun to read as one big story, and something which I'm going to be really curious about going into the next door stories in terms of the trade paperbacks. Will it be number 2 or be number 1, because even though it's an ongoing series, it's still under the same title. And I must admit with that, I do find that really interesting to see how it's all going to play out, but I guess we'll wait and see on that. Now also on June 28th, we do have the 4th issue for the tmnt and Yojimbo Where When crossover, and this one's going to be really interesting. Okay, so for the description for this issue, Lord Naruki's army replicates from the fight with a merger ninja clan. Meanwhile, General Usagi, the Turtles, and Neko Ninja clan encounter dangerous clockwork spiders as they near Dr. Wenware's fortress, but other mechanical foes the only one prowling the forest. I must admit, with this description, it does sound really great and really fun, and everything which they have done so far in the series, and everything which will be happening in this one, it sounds as though this issue could be a really interesting, really great one. I can't wait to read this one, it's going to be really great. Okay, so for the covers, we have cover A, which is done by Stan Sakai, which looks really great. Do get to see the turtles and Yojimbo characters fighting the spiders, looks really great. And then for cover B, it is done by Kevin Eastman, but also some really interesting facts about this one. We do have it done by Peter Laird and Steve Levine, who also working on this one as well, so this one is going to be a really great cover. I mean, it just looks amazing. With the 110 variant done by Sarah Myers, which looks really great and amazing as always. And then there are a few other covers for this issue, but I'll probably go into those in a preview video or something like that, but yeah. And then for the last issue to come out on June 28th, it is the tmnt The Last Ronin Lost Years issue number 4. Okay, so for the description for this issue, it is In the past, Makanu's journey towards vengeance take a detour when he is captured, imprisoned, and forced to take part in a gladiator competition with fighters from all over the world. Though new friendships are formed with would-be foes, one thing is certain: the only way to attain his freedom is to fight. It will take all Makanu's skills to defeat those who stand between him and vengeance. Meanwhile in the present, aka our future, Casey Marie Jones and her young tail pupils grapple with the lessons left by the late sensei Michelangelo as the situation in New York City worsens. Now overall, I do think that this issue sounds really fun and really interesting and great for the amazing fights which I think we could potentially see. But at the same time, I feel as though that this whole description for this issue sounds as though that this story could be like the final one for the series, so I'm somewhat curious to see how they're going to do it for a final issue and stuff like that. So I'm really curious to see how they're going to finish this story. And then for the covers, there are quite a few covers. So far they've announced 14, but I wouldn't be too surprised if they do announce a lot more. So I have a few going up on the screen right now, and I won't really go through them all right now just because there are quite a few, and I must admit they all do look really great and amazing. So those all the books will begin in June, and I must admit overall it sounds like that this month is going to be really interesting and really fun. So many great crossovers, so many great covers and stuff like that. Somewhat disappointed we're not getting the conclusion to the beginning game, but it is what it is. But in return we're getting so many great books, so I can't complain too much. But yeah, let me know in the comment section below what your favourite book is and stuff like that. And yeah, that's gonna be it for today guys. If you just please share, like, subscribe and all that stuff. Goodbye, yo, bye.